Okay, hi guys, let's get into it. This is my favorite and most used tools and materials in my studio. Where do I start? First things first, my new most favorite thing is this sketchbook that my friend Nancy made for me. She made it, y'all. Look at this. It's got this beautiful charm and a bead, and it wraps around like so. And she sewed all of this. She did all the covers, everything, this like beautiful mulberry paper. And look at this paper. It's like this beautiful cotton paper. Look, that's watercolor on it. Isn't it beautiful? And then that's pencil. And then let's see, I did another watercolor here. I absolutely love this sketchbook. It's just beautiful and precious to me. That's that. Second thing, most important thing, is my art history book. This is the one I'm working on currently. I'll do videos about what this is at another time, but basically it keeps me organized as an artist on each project that I'm doing. And I'll talk about that later, but this is the one I'm currently working in. I like to recycle different things for the covers. So that used to be a planner. Now I just use the cover. So that's that. Here's another one. Okay. Love those. Should I get into paper? Let's do paper first. I also do oil and acrylic and work like that, but I'm not working on that currently. So I do have large canvases I work on, boards and things like that, but that's separate to what I'm doing right now. I'm doing drawing. I like to use colored pencils, and I like to use toned paper with the colored pencils. So this is tan, and this one is gray. These are both Strathmore. And let me see, is there an example? Okay, that's an example of colored pencil on the toned tan paper. I'm sorry, toned gray paper. I like both of these very much. And then another thing I'll use colored pencil on is hot press watercolor paper. So this is the hot press paper I'm using currently for watercolor and for colored pencil. It's Saunders Waterford. It's 100% cotton, hot press, so it's smooth. And I've only got a couple of sheets left here. You can see it's like a creamy white, not a super duper white. So I need to get some more soon, but I'm enjoying that. And also I use tracing paper or vellum. I use both of these interchangeably. Excuse my voice. And I use those for tracing and transferring. So both of those are good. One is Strathmore, one is Staedtler. And they both work well. For travel sketchbooks, I've been using these travel journals from Arches. So this is a cold press, this is hot press. I put stickers all over them, but I like the hot press best when I'm out painting outside or painting on trips or whatever. This is a pretty new one, so there's not a lot in it, but easy. That's the hot press, and so it has a nice texture to it. I'm sorry, the cold press, and then the hot pressed is a smooth watercolor paper. So that's what I like to take out with me, and then I have a little small travel kit that I like to keep in the car, so I'll show that at another time. But that's that. And then on regular in-studio pieces of watercolor, I like to use the Arches cold press in the pad like this or on a block, either one. This is what I have right now and I'm using now. And it's a large one. It's 10 by 14, so I can actually cut it down into 2 if I want, and it's beautiful. Arches is always beautiful. And then for practice or swatching or things like that, I like to use bee paper from Royal and Langnickel. That there's no cotton content as far as I know in this paper. It's just a good thick paper for water media. It's easy to work on. And I have this size, which is a huge 11 by 15 that I can also cut down or whatever I want to do, or I have a smaller one as well. And I use them both for all kinds of practice, swatching, everything. It's like a brighter white than the watercolor paper is, but it works well and it has a little texture on it, which is nice. And I'm going to keep this here in case I need to swatch something for you guys, but I'm going to get into like my drawing utensils. So this VW bug, this VW van, my husband got me in Germany. It was like a puzzle you put together, and I keep all of my drawing stuff in there. And the first thing, it's pencils. Let's see, my favorite are Blackwing. You can tell they're like tiny. I also use these Blackwing. This was just a different collection, but they're the same kind of lead. So I love those. They're soft graphite. And then for harder pencils, I have a Prismacolor turquoise and a, this is Tombow Monograph Mono, in a 6H. Wait, I like those two for hard pencils. And then I have 2 mechanical pencils I use. One is just, I got in a whole kit of a bunch of them from Amazon. And it works really nice, and it's got this like gel grip, and this is 0.7. And it came with a bunch of leads like these. Like that one especially, I like to take that one for travel, so I'm not taking the really nice one and losing it or anything. So this is a pen from Levenger. It's a 0.5 that my husband gave me. And it's like heavy because it's metal, and I like it a lot. And I've had it for a long time, and it's great. It has a little thing where you like put what kind of lead you're using. You can just turn this dealy, and it's nice. And then for erasers, I have a bunch of erasers too. If I can get them out of here, okay. First thing, I got like one of these plastic erasers. And then I have, my favorite are kneaded erasers, like these guys. These came in a set, not with the case. I just kept the case from an old one, and I just keep reusing it. So I'm using the blue one right now, and then I have the backup of the red one. And these are the best erasers. I love them. And then I have a Pentel Click eraser. And it's kind of like a larger round pen eraser. I mean, it's in pen form, not that it erases pen. So there's that one. I don't use that one as much as I use these. These are Tombow Mono Zero erasers. They're the same size. They're the same eraser, essentially. I just had to have a pink one because I'm weird, you know. They got me with the color. They are both 2.3 size, and they're these itty bitty to erase with, very small, and I love that. And I love both of them, but I just think the pink is so pretty. So, I'm a sucker for color. You will find that out. I also have, this is newer to me, but I've been using it quite a bit. This is a Winsor & Newton set of graphite pencils, and it comes in, you know, all of these leads. And I've been using that quite a little bit lately, and it's really nice. So and it's gone in this nice case. So that's that guy. And let's see, pencil sharpeners. This is the one I use the most. It's Amazon Basics. You could do like the 3 lead lengths. It's rechargeable, battery operated, and it works great. I have no problems with it. I did have a problem with this one. I got this recently when I was in Ohio, and I bought this when I bought my Derwent drawing pencils that I'll show you later, and the first one I put in there, it like snapped the pencil. So I'm not I really don't know if it was the pencil or the sharpener, but I don't even use it now because I don't trust it. I definitely don't use it for the Derwent drawing. So that's that. This is a really good one. It's like a heavy metal. There's no brand name on it, but I like that one a lot. And then this one I've had for years. It's by Uli. And you can do different lengths of lead in this one, and it also opens so you can empty it. So it keeps the shavings in there. And this one's worked great for years and years. So that's sharpeners. Now, let's talk about, I got these pencils as well that I haven't used a lot yet, but I got them at like a art supply swap at our watercolor society meeting. And so these 4 are Conte Paris. They're like pastel pencils. I've got 2 in white. I've got 1 in sanguine and 1 in sepia. And I can show you what that looks like. Let's see, this one is sepia and this one is sanguine. Sepia and sanguine. And it is basically like, yeah, like drawing with like a chalk pastel. So I haven't really integrated those in yet, but this one is also, this one is a Faber-Castell Pit Pastel in white. And it's basically the same thing, and I'm trying to figure out how to use them well, you know what I mean? I don't work in pastel, like, hardly at all. Well, ever. I use like soft oil sticks like that, but not even often for that. Okay. Next, I'm going to talk about fine liners. I have a bunch of them. Okay, this one in the package is Faber-Castell Pit Artist Pens. There's 4 of them in here, and they are all in the color sepia, and it has the sizes 3, 7, 5, and a brush pen. And I'll show you that color as well. This ink color is like brown, essentially. I'll show you with the brush pen so you can see the color pretty well. So, okay. That. So, just if you want to like sketch with a different color than black, or you know, have a fine liner in a different color than black, it's a really nice natural color. So that's that. And then I have 2 of my newer like fine liners are Sharpie pens. These, I have no idea what the size of the nib is. I think it's like a 3, and they work okay. I mean, it works like Sharpie ink usually does, and that's here. And I have a Stabilo 0.88 0.4 fine. This is a really nice fine liner to work with, and I've had it a long time. It lasts forever. That's this one here. I mean, I guess you guys get what a fine liner looks like. I don't need to swatch every single one. I have a Sakura Pigma. This is like a brush pen. looks like that, and it makes dark ink marks, like so. And you could do like more like calligraphy type stuff with that one, which I don't do, but you can. I don't really use the brush pens very much at all. I have a Molotow black liner. This came in a set. This is the last one I have of the set, and it's 0.3. And a Prismacolor. I had a set of these also, and this is the last one of the set, and it's a 0.3. And they are basically your average fine liners. Speaking of average fine liners, I have Pigma Microns, these guys. I have 2 in 01, which is tiny, 1 in 3, and 1 in 5, and then one of the little brush kind of dealies. And that is actually in sepia also. These are all in black. I work with whatever one I grab usually, but my favorite are these Tombow, I can't pronounce it. These, they come in a set, like usually with one with the blue barrel, one with the black barrel. The ones with the black barrel in my travel case, I think, but the blue barrel is my favorite. I love these. So I have 2 of those in there, and these are usually ones I grab. Then I have white. Also, with the graphite stuff, I have these Lyra water-soluble graphite sticks. This one doesn't have the label on it, but it's the same thing. And I just recently started using these for transferring drawings, and they work fantastic for that. For white, I've got, here we go. For highlights and things like that, I have the Uniposca pens, which work okay. They're like acrylic ink. And I've got 2 sizes. You can see that's the difference. Don't use them very often, but I have them. This one is 1.8 to 2.5 millimeter, and this one's 0.9 to 1.3 millimeter. That's that. The other things I'll use for white is Winsor & Newton White Designer's Gouache. This is the best thing, I think. I really like using that a lot. More than anything else, I'll reach for that. And then there's also the Daler-Rowney Pro White. It also works pretty well too, and it lasts forever. I've had this, I don't even know how long I've had this, and it lasts forever. The last thing that I bought to use as a white highlight doesn't work as a white highlight. Everybody knows the Jelly Roll White doesn't work. It's just the biggest scam, okay? Biggest scam. But I keep this and I use it to use the nib to transfer from like tracing and things like that. So because it never releases any ink, even though it shows there's ink in it, I can just use that as a tool, like a pen that doesn't have ink in it, essentially, and transfer things with it, and it works really, really well for that. Thank goodness, because it's a waste of money otherwise. Here's that. Then, is that everything in here? Oh, there's a couple of water brushes in here that I usually take traveling or painting outside or whatever, and those work well. I use this for something else that I'll show you later also. And then pens. I have a dip pen in here when you want really teeny tiny lines and stuff like that. I don't do calligraphy, so that's lost on me, but I have that, and I'll show you some ink in a minute. I have a Pilot, is that Pilot? Yeah, friction pen. It's a erasable pen, and so I use that in my planner because I change plans a lot, and that works really great for that. My very favorite ballpoint pen is the Bic Crystal in black. Best pen in the world. I have these refillable fountain pens that basically you put ink in them, they're ready to go, they're really great. You get like a dozen for dirt cheap, and I just label what ink I have in which ones, and those work great. And I like the Papermate Ink Joy, these like soft dudes. In this color specifically is gray, and it's such a nice color when you're, you know, sketching or writing or anything, because it's just milder than a straight up black. That's that down there. And I dropped it. Okay. Then I have fountain pens, other fountain pens. I have 3 Kaweco Sports. The other one is off somewhere. So I have like a periwinkle one. I have this royal blue one, well, navy blue one, and pink one. And they open like so. So the pink one has silver hardware. I got this one in Germany and I love it. And this one I got in Austin, and I lost the little end cap off of it, but it was gold. So I got to try to find that in my drawer, wherever it is, maybe in the bottom of the pencil thing. But you can see the nib on this one is gold. It was like a special edition. And this is my favorite fountain pen. My husband got this for me for Christmas. It is the Ferris Wheel Press Carousel pen. And it's aluminum, completely an aluminum barrel. I love it. And it's got this like embossing, this floral embossing on it down here. It's a beautiful pen. I love it. And I got that for Christmas, and it's such a pretty color. I love it. That is fountain pens. The inks I'll show you. I have more than this, but this is an example of what I have. I have some of these little Urban guys, Urban, that I got in Germany also. And this one is Myositis Blue. It's really, really pretty. I got this one in Austin, Texas. The label is kind of inked up, but it's Guitar Gold Star. It's like this sort of antique-y color. It's really nice. And then I've got a bunch of Ferris Wheel Press inks, like so. They're beautiful packaging, so I keep the packaging. I'll open them and show you what that looks like. So this was the Fluttering Heart is the name of the ink. This is the first one I ever had, and it's like a pink with a champagne kind of gold shimmer in it, and it's beautiful, beautiful. This was a limited edition, so I try not to use it too much, but like, look at the bottles. Aren't they gorgeous? And they're like heavy and nice. So that's this size. I have several in that size. So this one's called Tunes of Tinseltown. You'll see, and they're all kind of different. And then this one it's like turquoise with like a light blue shimmer in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's just really, really pretty. Maybe I'll do a whole video just on inks one day. And then this one is Curious Woods. And this is this size, this like itty bitty guy. It's got these little stars all around it. It's so pretty. And you can see the shimmer in that is like a duo. And they don't all have shimmer, but a lot of them do. And I like to paint with them more than even put them in pens or anything. I like to paint with these inks. It's just beautiful. Go back in there, dude. I'll have to fix that later. Okay. And then this is the big size. And I've got a couple. This is called Ambrosia Indulgence. Like, tell me, it's just gorgeous. And this is the big boy. This is 85 milliliter, if you're curious, and this has this like antique gold shimmer in like a maroon ink. Isn't it pretty? It actually says on the packaging everything about it, the color and the way it dries and everything. So the base is red, the sheen, there's not a sheen, the shimmer is gold, the shading is low. Yeah, it's just like it has this on the side of all of them, and then it has like their little blurb. Like they're just beautiful. Like, can you see like closely in there, like all of the artwork is they put on the boxes, it's different on all of them. And they do like certain, what I want to say, like the collaborations and stuff, and those are really cool too. This one is another urban ink. This is a phosphorescent glow in the dark luminescent ink, and it's really, really cool. So that is that guy. So I have more, but that's just an example of the kind of inks that I have that I like to write with but also paint with. What do I have else here? I have my glove. This is a compression glove that you can use to stabilize your hands if you have shakiness or arthritis or anything like that. This is helpful for that, especially if you're trying to draw tiny things. I have these clips to hold things down if I need to, like sketchbook pages and stuff like that. They're really strong and really big and nice. I have measuring instruments and things to make certain shapes with. So this is my favorite ruler, and it's Office Depot. It's great because it's not just 12 inches, it goes up to 18. It's nice, and it has the cork on the back so it doesn't slide around. This is, just making squares and triangles and things like that. A template. This is a template for circles, and that you can make it these size circles, or you can make any of these size circles as well, plus lines. So this works really, really well. I use that for like bokeh effects in watercolor and stuff like that. And then I use this for making circles as well, and it's nice because it locks into place. So this is a really good one. Where are you from? This is Stedler, but it's like heavy duty and nice. Okay, what else I've got? If I'm going to use gouache, I have like regular gouache from Winsor & Newton that I have like the basics, like the red, blue, yellow, black, white, and it's really nice for regular designer's gouache. And this is my acrylic gouache. This is Holbein. This was the Yuki Higuchi collaboration, and it's so cute. I love this thing. But it basically holds all of my Holbein acrylic gouache in here, in the tubes. So her kit came with a set of, I think, 12 colors, and then there's other ones that I have bought to put in here as well, and that is acrylic gouache that I don't really use it all that often, but I do love it. And I tend to use bowls like this guy. I can't tip it because there's water in it. There you go. You can see the little owl. It's a noodle bowl, but I use it for water for painting. And the cool thing is it has the holes for your chopsticks to rest. You can rest your paintbrush in there. So that's super nice. I like using that, and it's nice and big. And then I have another one I use a lot is this like handmade one. It's shaped like a heart. I can't show you because it has water in it. It's shaped like a heart. And I got that in here in New Mexico, in a really tiny town, Madrid, New Mexico. And it was an artist had them in a small little boutique there, and I loved it. Okay, next, that's everything on this side. I think this is my brush setup that I use in studio, and usually for travel also. Oh, the wind is blowing out there. It sits on my desk like so, but it can wrap up to go travel, and it works great. I've used it for years and years. That's great. I've got like a continuous mister bottle. Wonderful, it works great. And okay, so let's go to more tools here. So this is a tube opener, because a lot of times the lids on tubes are hard to turn and open because they've gotten crusty and yucky, or your hands are weak or whatever. This goes in here. It's got several different sizes, and it grips the top of the tube and turns it so you can open it. This is fantastic. Golden makes them, and I think every artist should have one. It's fantastic. Even like oil tubes, when they get like really gunked up, they're super hard to open. This will open it. I wish I had one for like bigger lids too. I don't even know if they make it, but that would be great. And then, speaking of tube tools, this is a tube ringer. It's not a great one. My great one broke, so I'm looking for a new one for small tubes. But basically, when your tubes are getting low, it's hard to get the paint, all of the paint out of it, because you don't want to waste paint. You put it through there, and you turn it so that it pushes the paint down to the top for you, so you're getting as much paint out of it as you can. This one this is just okay, but not for really small tubes. I need to find one for smaller tubes. So if you have a suggestion, let me know. Okay, because I'm looking for one, but that works for now. Then these I got at Daiso. I got like a dozen of them for like $1. And what they're great for is when you're taking your pencils or even brushes sometimes out with you, and you don't want the tips to get messed up. It's like just a spare cap, and they're great. They come in more handy than I ever thought they would. So that's great, especially when you have like expensive pencils, you know, and you don't want to waste any of the lead. That works out great. And then for drawing, I also have this sort of little setup with these paper tortillas, you know what I mean? These little blenders, I guess. And this little sandpaper dealie, it's got like a bunch of different pages of sandpaper on it, so you can use it to shade with graphite and other stuff too. And to clean it off, I just rub it on the sandpaper, but you can also use that sandpaper to sharpen small tips on pencils and things like that, you know, to be gentle about it. But those work really, really great. Some people use these to blend colored pencils with solvent also, but I haven't tried that before. But I've got a bunch of different sizes, and this guy, and that's from Staedtler too. That whole thing I think came together. One of them, some of them's Faber-Castell, but there was a whole set from Staedtler that came together that I've had for years. And then I have these tools here. So, you know, it's just an old paintbrush, an old like Cotman paintbrush, a cheap dip pen, a dotting tool for like working with clay or doing nail art or anything like that. It's like a cheap dotting tool with like double-ended, and then a silicone brush tool. So the tip is made of silicone, and I use all of those for masking fluid. This is the Pebeo drawing gum. I also like the Winsor & Newton masking fluid. Both of them work great, and I use these to apply that, so I'm not messing up any of my really good brushes. This one was trashed already, so I use these all to apply masking fluid, and they work great. Is that everything over here? Okay, so now we're going to get into some watercolor, which is like my main thing right now that I work with. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. So for watercolor, I have my studio palette. I have a lot of watercolors, but my studio palette is this guy, and I leave it out on my desk as I'm working. And it looks messy, but that's because I use it like every day. And if you want to know what colors I have in here, let me know and I can show you. But basically, they're mostly Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton, Holbein, and Mission Gold. I don't even know if there's any Holbein in here. Nope. Oh, this Shadow Violet is a Holbein. That's about it. So that's the colors I work with like every day. I do a lot of florals, and this is a great floral setup. And I love this metal palette I've had for years and years. It's perfect. I know Holbein makes one like this, but this isn't Holbein. This is, the label says AP here. I don't remember where I got it or anything, but it's a fantastic palette. And then I have these cheapy palettes that I will use if I'm working on a project that's taking a while and I'm putting it down and working on something else and coming back to it another day or whatever. I'll put those colors in one of these little like 99-cent deals and keep it until I'm done with that project, and then clean it out and use it for another one. And, I mean, I got these at Daiso for like 99 cents, and so you can see that's the last project I worked on. I used those colors, and then I could just clean those out, and the next longer project I do, I can just squeeze out a little bit of the paint that I need and keep them all together instead of trying to remember what I used from elsewhere or keep all the tubes out that I used or whatever. It's just really nice to have those for specific projects. I have some handmade watercolors that I'm obsessed with right now. This is I got this tin and all of the paints in it in a shop in Santa Fe called L'École des Beaux-Arts. And they're all handmade. They make the paints and they get the tins from Italy, and I've never seen a white one, and I love it. And I know it gets dirty, and I don't care because it'll look like it's been used, which I love, you know. So those colors are all handmade, and you can see some of them are very well loved. And this guy right here, you'll see me using in the painting of the amaryllis bulb in the roots. I use a lot of that color. It's my baby. I love it. And I'll use some metallic colors in some of my paintings, and I like to use these for that. I also like to use Fine Tech, but this is like powders from Schminke that you add water to, and it creates a beautiful gold here, like that. I can re-wet this and use it, but that's what's in here, and it's just beautiful metallic. And I've got 2 different colors, shades of gold, a bronze, and a copper, I think, or silver, and they last forever. All of this, till the day I die, because there's so much of it in there. I also got those in Germany, and I really, really love them. And in using watercolor, I also use magic erasers. I keep one of these all the time, and you can tear off a bit of it, get it wet, squeeze it out, and rub any part of the liftable watercolor to erase it if you have like something you don't want, or you know, if you made a mistake or whatever, or drip or something. This will take it off without ruining the paper most of the time. And you know, you can't go real hard with it, but it works really, really great. You get the magic eraser that does not have the cleanser in it with the bleach. That's what you want. And it lasts a long, long time because you're just using a little bit. You can even use like a pair of tweezers to hold it and get into whatever you're trying to do. And it works wonderful. I mean, I wish I had known that a lot sooner. That's a great hack. Okay, then I have a lot of other watercolors also, all different. You can see all different brands. I keep them in like this little stackable dealie. It was made for Kiritaki paints, but I put all different kinds of paints in there. And I got, what is it? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers to it and a lid. And that works great because it saves a lot of space on my table, my desk. And it just sits over there like a little cube, and it's wonderful. Now, let's talk about colored pencil. That's like a newer, recent love for me is colored pencil, and I'm really, really loving it. So, the tools I use with colored pencils, I keep in this tin here. This is my favorite tin. Not that anybody cares. This brush, actually, I use for that, those water-soluble graphite sticks. For these guys, I just keep it specifically for that because it's a cheap brush and I don't want that graphite all in everything else that I paint. So I use that specifically for that. And then I have this this Prismacolor blender marker in here that I never ever use. I don't like it. I don't even understand the point of it. Like, it seems useless to me. It's as useless as a jelly roll to me. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. I have a couple of white pencils in here because you use them more than anything else. So there's Prismacolor white, which is incredible white. I have a Stabilo all aquarellable pencil in white. Good for paper, glass, plastic, and metal. It's basically a super thick white pencil. It works pretty well too, but not as the Prismacolor is the best. And then, so I also have a Prismacolor blender pencil in here, and I have one in my case too that I don't use them anymore either because of the new situation I'm doing, but it's in there. So I have these 2 water brushes. Remember I said I was going to tell you about that? What I have in these water brushes is Gambling Gamsol. So I use a little pipette to fill them up with the Gamsol, pipette like that. Fill them up, and I can use that Gamsol in there to blend my colored pencils together. And it works wonderfully. Oh, I'll squeeze some to the top, and I'll use any one of these brushes here and take some of the Gamsol off of it and blend a little spot that I'm working on, and it works amazingly. This is my favorite one here because it's like a smaller tip from, this is Derwent. Yeah, it's a Derwent brush. Works great, and that's my favorite thing to do to blend colored pencil right now. And then I'll show you my colored pencils. I think that's about it that I can think of right now that I just use all the time. So I have 2 cases of colored pencils. So this is the first case. It's like a big honker. I have my Prismacolors. Not every Prismacolor. Just the ones that I wanted, which is most of them. So that's those. And then I have one Caran d'Ache Luminance White. No, that's a lie. This is in Buff Titanium. And it's very, very nice, but they're incredibly expensive. And that's why I only had one to try. And then I have the Prismacolor Very Thin because they're harder pencils. I wish they had them to match all of the Prismacolor colors, but they work. They're great. And then I have recently got the Derwent drawing pencils, the full 72 set, and I'm obsessed with them. They are wonderful. Like, they're everything good thing that people say about them is absolutely true. They're gorgeous. And then the second case is this Speedball case. Remove this. So this is a Speedball pencil case, and it's just a smaller one. And what I have is the duplicates of my Prismacolors that I have, just like backups. And I don't have a backup for everyone. And then the like specialty colors, or like the ones that I only have like 1 or 2 in the range. So I have, these are Faber-Castell, the Black Edition pastels. These are Uli pastels. Those are my favorite. I love those pastels, but there's not very many of them, you see. These two are Faber-Castell Gold Paper. There's like a pink and a white. That white's not as good as the other ones I have. These next 5 ones are Koh-i-Noor. 3 are water soluble and 2 are not. And those are nice. That's all I have of them. This is more Winsor & Newton. These are watercolor pencils. You can see the colors down here. And all of the neon ones right here are all Crazy Art, like super cheap brand. But I just wanted to have some neon pencils if I needed them. So I'll probably get some better neon ones, but those are what I got for now. And then the rest of these here are Caran d'Ache Super Colors that are water-soluble colored pencils. So that's it for colored pencils. And I think that's about it for everything that's on my current using and favorites list. Thank you for joining me. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.